There you go.
The year was 1992. Joe was fat and happy sitting on his granny's knees watching the Braves. Trey was sucking down enough Mountain Dew to be the spokesperson for diabetes, and I was a perfect little angel. It was also the same year that Confederate Railroad put out their self-titled second album, Confederate Railroad. On that album, they had 6 hits, the first of which is my favorite song by them, The Queen of Memphis. However, nearly a full year later, a B-side off that album came out as a single that had already been recorded by Jerry Jeff Walker, was written by a man from California named Chris Wall, but would go on to be what I think is the defining song of the band Confederate Railroad and one of my favorite country music videos of all time. Today on Bubba Shot the Podcast, we are discussing Trashy Women, a song and a topic near and dear to my red-ass heart. Boys, what's going on? How we doing?
You know, I didn't know until you mentioned it that this was a Jerry Jeff song, because I think it's very clear that this is the defining song of Confederate Railroad, because to me it's like, this is them. Danny Shirley wrote it. There's no other band that could have ever. And by the way, huge Jerry Jeff Walker fan. Can't wait to check that out. But like, yeah, dude, this is the shit right here.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. I looked into the backstory. The legend has it that in the Million Dollar Cowboy Bar outside of Jackson Wyoming, Jerry Jeff Walker was posted up on a small, what do they call it when they're there for, like, when the musicians there for
residency,
a small residency, like a 2-week residency there, and the opening bands were just a rotation of locals, and the bartender Chris Wall went up and sang with his band and played that song, and Jerry Jeff Walker was like, "You're coming to my room as soon as the set's over tonight, and you're teaching me that fucking song, and also you're moving to Austin," and he did.
Nice.
Jerry Jeff Walker ahead of his time.
Oh, way ahead of his time, dude.
It did okay for Jerry Jeff, but it didn't do that great on the chart.
I mean, I was going to say clearly, because I'm a Jerry Jeff fan. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a super fan, but like, I'm a Jerry Jeff fan. I'm familiar with a lot of his work, and like, I didn't know that, so they clearly didn't do that well for him.
Me neither. I never knew it either. And I'm just off top. I'm a massive fan of this song because I very strongly relate to it personally. I too, like my women, just a little on the trashy side. I'm a trash man myself, so I feel like I'm allowed to say that.
My wife's a huge piece of trash.
Yeah, yeah. Katie is like, I don't know. Katie
trashy.
She knows she's a little trashy. I mean, you know, we openly talk. She knows who she is and where she's from. She's from Wayne County, goddammit.
I don't even think I need to qualify what's going on in my life.
Yeah, well, we talked about, you know, like always, of course, you know, I'm a long married man now, but I'm saying back in the day, a woman walked up and sort of smelled a little bit like cigarettes, you know, or something like that. Smell like my buddy's garage or something, just anything like that. That always, you know, got me excited, had me feeling confused, you know.
Do you remember when they used to wear like neon bras?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And they would like want you to see like one of the straps, and like they would constantly be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, yeah. Oh, you didn't want me to see it. That's why you made it neon bar sign pink. I know what you're doing, Chelsea. Cut their own denim shorts off, and one leg was a little bit shorter than the other one. You could see one butt cheek, which for some reason, the only time that one butt cheek hits harder than 2 butt cheeks is when you can only see the one through jean shorts, because you know that's a mistake butt cheek. You know what I'm saying?
The accidental butt cheek.
When I was younger, when I was like
boob butts.
Yeah,
of course. When I was like teenage years, fucking Jamie Presley, who you know is angelic. I mean, she's gorgeous, objectively gorgeous, but she was literally like the very top of my list because she had a penchant for playing these kind of trashy women's, you know, Joe Dirt and shit like that. She was like sort of Hollywood's go-to hot white trash actress, and she was numero uno for your boy for a very long time.
Dude, that scene.
Very talented, too.
We need one of them. We ain't had one of them in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
No, we haven't. That scene in Joe Dirt when she's just like chewing her gum and like twisting it around. Yeah. Like, that's the only thing that does it for me that nobody's naked in.
Right.
Like, I could just, you know, well, you're right. That too. I could go with that. You know what I mean? I could just go with that.
Isn't that the same scene where it cuts to her son at some point during that montage, and he goes, "If you see my girlfriend, you'd shit yourself."
Yes, and then it cuts back to her, and she doesn't have the gum anymore, but she's just like licking a corn dog or something like that. Like that movie rules. Can we pretend it's a '90s country song and talk about it one day?
We can, because I want to tell Tushar my theory that it is just Slumdog Millionaire. It's the same fucking plot, and it's even got Kid Rock in it, and Bollywood Kid Rock is in Slumdog Millionaire. He's gonna tell me I'm wrong. I would recommend everybody go watch the Trashy Women Confederate Railroad music video right now.
Yeah,
do it right now.
And look, guys, before you do,
Elephant in the room.
There's a lot of stars and bars. All right, you're gonna have that.
That guy who comes out as the host of the talent show in the music video, his stage name is Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah, as Corey said, you'll have that.
You'll have that.
They're still around, and they're still trying to fly it. They got dropped in 2019 from a county fair because they would not put up the rebel flag. So I want everyone to understand.
I feel like if you're Confederate Railroad, like you're kind of married to it at this point.
Dude.
If you've been called that, if you've had Confederate in your name for 30 goddamn years or whatever, like, what are you
at this point, it is your heritage.
Hey, how about this? My bug man is best friends with their goddamn lead singer. I heard all about them.
I know you have some personal stories about them, and I definitely want to hear them. But I think we should just go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get the Indian Outlaw out here.
All right, let's bring in the Indian Outlaw. Let's start breaking down the lyrics. It's funny we're going to bring in the Indian Outlaw, which is a reference to a very racist song. And I'm about to say, guys, this song rules, but I don't endorse the views or the other antics of Confederate Railroad, the band. Neither does anyone else at wellRED.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, look, they didn't write this. So
there you go.
There's Tushar. What's up, baby?
I endorse all the racist undertones. The Confederate Railroad. I know you need someone to do that.
It has to be you.
Just if it must.
Yeah. How are you, buddy?
You're getting better at the bit of making us look racist. That one was subtle.
He's always been pretty good at it, in my opinion.
I know.
He's just a natural.
For people.
Also, listen, it ain't that difficult, I feel like, in a general sense. We're out at a bar or something. You know what I mean? Especially if people don't know us. It's pretty simple to make other people think we're being racist.
That's what I'm saying. That route, he'll say something like white power and then look at us like, what?
I was about to say, like, but you're right, Trey. It is easy, but that doesn't mean that Tushar isn't still like putting the ball on the tee and swinging for the fence. Like, it would be super simple, but like, he literally, for those of you that don't know on this podcast, Tushar we'll just be at a bar and he will just, while we're sitting there, he'll just scream white power and then duck.
That's not true.
Yes, duck. It is.
He doesn't duck. He just looks at us. He doesn't duck. He goes.
I can't believe y'all.
Me? No.
And that
I say white Zinfandel or something. Yeah. It's a little bit more witty than that.
Well, yeah, that move you just pulled was way more it required a lot more skill than just yelling. Goddamn, man, Indians are even better at racism than us, y'all.
Yeah, of course.
We're the best.
What's up, buddy? Well, speaking of the best, do you have a penchant, first of all, for trashy women? Is that something you generally are into?
Drew, you know the answer to this.
I don't.
I love myself a trashy woman.
Yeah, I do know. I just wanted to hear you talk about it.
You like them all,
I'm a fan.
Right?
I'm up against a system that is the opposite of trashy. Where the arranged system is trying to find someone who is like suitable in the same cast and.
Well, that's who we want to marry, not fuck.
Right. So this is about who you want to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is a song about whores.
Yes, I mean
fundamentally, it's a class song about whores.
Yeah, pretty much.
You mean prostitutes, or you're saying that as a euphemism for easy women?
The euphemism for easy women. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I didn't take trashy women to mean that necessarily in the context of this song.
I don't either. I think to me it's like it's saying like I mean, you know, a little on the trashy side.
Right,
Now, of course, a lot of the lyrics, the way they describe these women, make them sound a whole lot on the trashy side.
Yeah.
But the idea that, like, you know, no, good girl, my ideal woman, good girl who's, you know, just got a little bit of a trash factor going on, which is how I've always felt, you know, and who I married.
Yeah,
again,
I mean, this
she
is
knows I feel that way. She would agree with me, I think.
Yeah, me too.
This is going to be a stretch, but I think it's a very feministic song. I think it's empowering women to fucking dress trashy if they want to.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I do too. I'm sorry for even saying what I said earlier, because I married a complete drunken ball of trash too, and I wouldn't have her any. I wouldn't have her any other way. But I do kind of feel that way about this song and about songs like this. A lot of people like go the complete opposite way, and they're like, oh, you know, like feminism means that every woman is a lawyer and a doctor and blah blah blah. It's like, no, feminism is about doing whatever the fuck you want. And I don't know if you know this, but no one on earth does more exactly what the fuck they want than the Southern trashy woman. You know what I'm saying? And they might not in their heart believe like, oh, I'm not a feminist, I don't get down with any of that shit. But like this, I feel like this is a very empowering song. I'm glad that you brought that very true fact up, Drew.
All right, well, let's get into the lyrics. Thank you, buddy. Let's get into these lyrics because on the surface, this is not much of a story song. But one of the reasons I chose it is it absolutely is. It's just that it's all contained, in my opinion, for the most part, in the middle verse. But let's start with the beginning. And it goes back to this guy's childhood. You know, he was raised on a sophisticated kind of style. Taste in women and music drove his folks half wild. Mom and dad had a plan for me. Debutantes and symphonies. Tushar, debutantes is our version of what you were talking about, arranged marriages. It's the closest thing the South has to arranged marriages. Do you know what a debutante ball is?
Through movies, and I've obviously never been to one.
I've never been to one. Andy went to one, and her family trashed it up, is the story. Her mom really wanted to go, and none of them wanted to when Andy turned 18. But she kind of like made them all go. So then when they got there, they decided to all get hammered and just trash it up.
Yeah. Of course, I've never been to one, surprisingly, but they are still a thing, which I think we discussed on the wellRED podcast, because like y'all were having to inform me of that, because I was like, no, surely to God they ain't doing that shit no more. But like,
well, we have not yet just actually said what they are. It's like where young women of age are basically presented debuted by their families to
like a pig at market
to the eligible bachelors of the area or whatever in this, and they all wear, you know, they all gussy themselves up and go and are presented as such at the debutante. My trash ass never. I don't think that we don't have anything like that even near Salina.
Well, no one's going to present any shit to you.
Right, or ain't nobody presenting nothing.
Ain't nobody presentable.
Yeah, not
I
to
bet they have one in Cookeville, or at least did when I was growing up. Probably that's probably the closest.
Yeah,
place.
they're not.
Yeah, my trash ass was never allowed.
They're not inviting the hillbilly eligible to the.
No.
Is the debutante ball? Since I've never been to one, is it when you say the women are presented? Is it in a ballroom setting and everyone kind of walks around and kind of gets to know each other, or is it literally like, here's a lady on stage?
They put them on a stage, and then when they're done with them, they get a shepherd's hook and they grab them by the throat and they pull them off and throw them into gravy if nobody bids on them.
It's a dance, Tushar. It's essentially a dance, and there's like historically there was a dance that only single women and bachelors would be a part of, and it was a reel of sorts where you would dance around and meet everybody. This goes back to like, you know, 1800s and early 1900s South,
or the good old days, as y'all call
it. Yeah. Or as my dad called it, back when it was right. Nah, he's never said that.
Yeah,
I don't know. But
I like how that
right power.
This starts with, and again, this is a cover, but this starts with, well, I was raised in a sophisticated kind of style. And if you're watching the video, you know, he's got a mullet and a jean vest on and everything. It's like truly sophisticated type of gentleman here. Although I'm sure, you know, he probably was, you know, he had the look, you know, this is the look you had to have back then. He could have been a fancy boy growing up in reality, and they didn't write the song anyway. But it's funny to me seeing that dude, like, you know, looking all Billy Ray-y, Billy Ray Cyrus-y, saying that he grew up sophisticated.
They sang backup on Billy Ray's first album. One could argue that Billy Ray borrowed a lot of what he was doing
from them. They were that was their whole deal, right? They were a backing band for years for like David Allan Coe and other bands like that. That's how they started.
Yes.
I mean, they got to be pretty legit.
That's definitely where most of their flags came from.
Musically,
you know that?
Yeah, it's funny. I guess be pretty legit if they fucked around with if Coe fucked with them. I mean, I'm talking purely as musicians. Yeah, this episode's a minefield.
Yeah, dude, they're never getting rid of that flag. Yeah.
I feel like the sophisticated, using the word sophisticated is a euphemism for, we're plantation, slave owner, family, we're a high society. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, because he then says debutantes and all that, which basically confirms it. Yeah. That's pretty much what that means. Old South shit. Plantation as fuck.
And it is odd that Confederate Railroad, which is also an allusion to that, is coming out the gate on this song, basically saying, fuck all that, bullshit.
Right.
But keep the racist part. That's
Right. And that should have been my first clue that they didn't write this song, as I was raised in a sophisticated kind, because they've never ever once would say anything like that in any of their other songs. Like every other song, like, Daddy never was the Cadillac kind, like that. You know what I mean? Like, clearly it wasn't these motherfuckers that wrote it, which that song also hits and will make me cry, and hopefully we'll do that one day.
Queen of Memphis that's all been in my head, in my heart, my whole life. All right, well, let's do the chorus real quick, and then let's get to that second verse, because man, there's so much in that second verse. Chorus is and I like my women a little on the trashy side when they wear their clothes too tight and their hair is dyed. Too much lipstick and too much rouge gets me excited, leaves me feeling confused, and I like my women just a little on the trashy side. That's a great chorus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real long way to say boner, which hits.
Confederate boner.
Yeah.
Tushar, you got any thoughts on the chorus before we dive in on this juicy second verse?
I mean, I just love it because it feels like the trashy, the word trashy is almost like he's using clothes tight, hair dyed, too much lipstick and rouge. He's using all those things as he could have said so much more, right? But those are all indicators to this is basically a lady who likes having fun, and she doesn't really care about anything but maybe even just being trashed.
Well, that goes back to the thing about, whether we're talking about a slutty woman or just a woman who is generally, I think, and it's brilliant in some ways. I bet women like this song way more than men when it first came out.
Absolutely.
Because there is a Southern thing, and this is probably true all over the world, where women will judge a woman whose clothes are too tight and whose hair's dyed the wrong way, and she smells like cigarettes and booze, and she's dancing with their man or too many men, or they love to talk trash about him, and they'll say, because they're not allowed to say slutty, or they weren't back then, trashy. She's trashy, and he's going, and I'm celebrating these girls.
Yeah, and dude, what I
have no doubt. Go ahead, Tushar.
Sorry, I was just saying. The best thing about the video is that what is represented as opposite of this trashy whatever he's trying to draw, what he likes is these two old women that represent everybody else, like on the other side, who would judge him and who they should aspire to be.
Right. Yeah, he chose.
Yeah, dude. I wasn't drinking and partying in 1992 because I was 5. But like that's the only reason. But like this song, as you can imagine, has come up at so many like barn farm parties that I've been to, and like yeah, I would say that I agree. Like the women were probably singing it a little louder because they were like, "He's talking about me. That's me." And like it was never not one person was like, "Oh, I can't believe that they're condoning this in this song." Like yeah, it was that. It was like this song is for me, and fuck all them city bitches who don't like my big hair and don't like my lipstick and my mascara and all this stuff. They just don't know, they don't know the bigger your hair, the closer you are to God. Like, dude, absolutely.
I mean, and there's a slew of songs like that in the country genre. I'm a Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson is the first song that comes to mind. And I would say that this, and a lot of these 90s country songs have this. This is the closest to a rap mentality we've done on this podcast, I think, so far.
Ain't nothing but a hoochie mama. Hood rat, hoochie mama.
Fucking nailed that. Knocked that hard.
The Indian Outlaw coming in hot.
Also, one of my wife's favorite songs.
Yeah. I too am nothing but a hoochie mama.
He's speaking
Or
to
his
me.
wife when that comes on.
You can check my street credentials.
Yeah.
Their list of things are a little different. Still tight clothes. Still hair dyed, I think. Still too much. All the things still apply.
Oh, dude, without a doubt, man. There's a lot of those that we'll get in throughout this series. I'm certain of parallels between rap and country, and liking ratchet bitches is one of them.
All right, let's get into
before we move on real quick. This is classic honky tonk.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hell
I would
yeah.
say so, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's meant to be played at a honky tonk. The rhythm of the song and the music of it is a dance number. The guy who wrote it was a bartender at a major cowboy honky tonk in Wyoming, and he wrote it to be a dance number.
Nailed it.
All right, is that it? Okay, sorry. I'm gonna just read it. This is definitely one of my favorite verses. I don't know. I love all these songs. I feel like I say something like that every episode. Here we go. Should have seen the looks on the faces of my dad and mom when I showed up at the door with a date for the senior prom. Now, this is a weird thing. It might just be like a turn of phrase to make it rhyme, but it's funny to me that he comes to his own house already with a date. Like, he's like, I just came to get pictures for, I know y'all wanted to take pictures, but we've already been partying all day.
No, I agree with you. I've actually never thought about it until you were about to start that sentence, which was like, the guy showed up at the girl's house and he was met with the shotgun. You know what I mean?
That is this
happened to me, by the way.
Woman ain't got no daddy, so
right. That's why. Yeah, right.
No shotgun comes into play.
She don't even live at home. We're about to get into it, boys. This is a grown ass adult.
Yeah.
They said, "Well, pardon us, son. She ain't no kid." That's a cocktail waitress in a Dolly Parton wig. I said, I know it, Dad. Ain't she cool? That's the kind I dig.
Yeah, I definitely think that when I was in my teens, I 100% assumed that this was a prostitute that he had gotten. But I don't believe that anymore. But yeah, I guess it's like
this is probably statutory rape.
It's probably. At least. I mean, if he's in high school,
he might be 18. He could possibly be 18 in this scenario.
It's definitely at least the kind that we seem to be fine with. Yeah, yeah. It's the non-Hodgkin
kind. Yeah,
it's the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma of statutory rape.
Yeah. You get sentenced 0 to high five. I think that I'm going to go with he's 18. Just to make it, you know what I mean? It's like
just to make this podcast more fun.
Well, also when did 21 and up become a thing, especially out west? 21 and up is a relatively new law. I feel like this dude is 18 and he's been out at bars partying, finding his kind of women instead of partying with high schoolers, and he found a date for senior prom.
He says senior prom. Senior prom's in the latter half of your senior year. You could I was 18 before I graduated.
Also, for the record, depending on where you are in the South, 17 would be fine too.
That's true. Yeah, some states are totally. This is a hilarious thing that we're like trying to figure this out. Like, did she fuck a kid or not? Like, technically.
That's why I love this verse so much. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but like, this is intrigue here.
A cocktail waitress isn't necessarily 42.
That's also true. A cocktail. I mean, when I used to be a cocktail server, that didn't hit for nobody. But a lot of the waitresses that I worked with were like 19, 20, 21, something like that, at that, we were all the same age, very early 20s, like college age. So it don't mean she's 40 or nothing.
I would say most of them are. I think the trope of the 45-year-old cocktail waitress is from like Vegas movies where she's the only one with anything interesting to talk about. Like she stands out at 45 because everyone else is 25.
Like she got there. Yeah. She started working there at 19, but now she's 45. Yeah. For sure. I agree with that.
My favorite line in this verse is, ain't she cool? Like, almost like, right?
I said, I know it, Dad. Ain't she cool? He does.
And his dad does.
His dad absolutely does.
Yes. A cocktail waitress in the Dolly Parton wig. I want to fuck her. I ain't even seen her.
Of course.
I think I like the Dolly Parton wig because a Dolly Parton wig I mean, Dolly wears wigs. I mean, Dolly has big hair. That is a statement piece. You're showing up at a dude's house for his senior prom day, and you are wearing a giant wig.
Also, being trashy is a huge part of Dolly's identity, like overtly, and she's very upfront about that, which is one of the things that hits the hardest about her for me. So I'm saying that's a very efficient way to convey a new character, you know. In a person, so.
Like you say Dolly Parton wig, and you just immediately eliminated the need to say 18 more words that you didn't have to say. Like everybody knows exactly what in the fuck this woman looks like right now, and what it is real good.
Becomes poetry.
Yeah.
Well,
word economy.
Note, I want to get back to what Tushar brought up. I mean, I also love that line of the celebration of your dad's trying to call you out, and he's just like, hell yeah. They got new flavors of Mountain Dew, to quote Frank Crowder. His dad's jealous, don't you guys think?
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, like, I definitely think it was one of them situations like where like the mom and dad see it and they're both just like, oh my God. And then the mom turns her back and the dad's just like,
yeah,
hey,
for sure.
You know, like, because I've had so many of those experiences with my dad where like dad will put on the face in front of my mom like, oh, this don't like. I'm sure I've told you this before. Like when we saw Titanic, I saw Titanic for the first time. Mom and dad were like, okay, we'll take you. We've seen it before. There's just one scene that Dale cover the boy's eyes. And dad's like, okay, goddamn, I will. So we sat like in front of him. And it's when obviously Kate Winslet pulls her titties out. And dad, she goes, Dale, cover his eyes. So dad covers my eyes. And then right when it gets good, dad like did that shit. Like he pulled his fingers apart so that I could see the titties, but didn't tell mama, you know? And dads love it when their boy's about to get some ass.
Corey is snitching on his dad here on the Bubba Shot the Podcast.
That's fine. He would love it.
I'm looking at the video real quick, and because I wanted to know if the video gave us clues to how the mom feels. Because the song does not allude to it, but in the video, the mom is going.
What's the dad doing?
Appalled.
The dad mimes the words. Stonewall Jackson mimes the words. Pardon the son, that ain't no kid. But then it cuts away, and you see the mom going. And the dad's going.
Hey.
Yeah, he got it. You guys nailed it.
Yeah.
All right, then it's obviously the chorus again, and then this gets into what we were talking about. In my opinion, the last verse. This is to me if the last verse is the most interesting, this is the moneymaker. This is every woman at the farm party saying, "That's right. This is my jam." Yep. This is the one that turns it from what a cool, interesting song to this is a hit. We got a hit on our hands, boys. This is all the single ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I like them sweet. I like them with a heart of gold. And I like them brassy. I like them brazen and bold. They say opposites attract. Well, I don't agree. I want a woman just as tacky as me because I like my women just a little on the trashy side.
Right. Yeah, that's the one. That's the verse where it like sort of makes it all okay. Not that it never wasn't okay, but that's the purpose of this.
He's like,
verse.
"Hey, me too."
Yeah, yes, me too. I'm same as y'all. That's why I'm into this. You know, like I was saying earlier, relate to this song, baby. But also,
there's no shaming.
Yeah, right. No shaming. It's like we're talking earlier, are these prostitutes or whatever? And I said, no, I don't think it is. And that's where he's like, no, I like them sweet, heart of gold. Y'all are good. Y'all are good women, and I know it. You just,
But pull your titties out.
But pull your titties out.
On a lawnmower.
You want to.
I'll pull my balls out.
And they're like, I do want to.
Yeah, it hits.
Yeah.
Also, man, this is the part too. Like now that I'm thinking about it, you said that this was a fucking B-side.
Yeah.
This has got to be like top 10 greatest B-sides of all time.
This was the 6th single they released. It was put out as a single nearly a full year after the album.
Really?
It came out in 93 on the radio.
I'll tell you what, them motherfuckers was on fire.
Oh, they
in
had
92, 90. Yeah. I mean, that's a good run. You got 6 chart-topping hits. I mean, obviously you want to do more, but like you can hang your hat on that shit.
Yeah, I don't know how many went top 10, but this one went number 10, and Queen of Memphis went number 2. And that's on the same album.
This is only number 10?
I know. That's wild to me.
Fucking what? That's a #1 chart-topping hit.
That's what I would have thought, too. I would have thought this was far and
crazy.
away their biggest song if you'd asked me before telling
me. Too.
I think it became that, but, guys, David Allan Coe wasn't topping the charts other than that one song.
Listen's got staying power.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is
Trashy Women are eternal.
Even back then, you would get a big fan base putting that rebel flag in your videos. But even back then, I feel like CMT, they wouldn't say nothing about it, but they weren't playing you as much. Confederate Railroad, hopefully rightfully so, didn't get a lot of airplay, boys.
Yes,
it might also just been that everybody thought they was a backing band. I mean, DJs had so much power back then to decide who made top 10.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Paola was still, it still goes on. But yeah, I mean, for sure. But yeah, I mean, you know what though? For me, it's different because of course I heard that song all the time. They literally went to the same high school as I. Two of them went to the fucking high school that I went to.
Yeah, here we go.
This song is about my aunt.
Yeah.
So I want to throw this out there for the audience. As y'all know, in about 5 minutes, I got to leave. I got to go pick my kids up first day of school. So I'm just going to disappear. But I'm glad we're at least starting to get into this because yes, Corey, y'all are from the same place, right? Both of Confederate Railroad.
Can I make one point before we move on to personal stories about CR?
Sure.
Just real quick, the first part of that last verse, and you started to touch on this, Trey, and then we moved on to how he was bringing himself to their level. He did do you guys know, what's that vampire movie? Bella or whatever?
Twilight?
Twilight. So there's a thing in Twilight that a lot of people have written about how they never describe her. And the reason they don't describe her is they wanted every young woman reading it to imagine themselves as her. He's doing the opposite here, where he's trying to paint a broad picture so any woman can imagine.
Paint a broad picture. You know what I'm saying?
But I like that, where he goes from sweet, hard to go, brassy, brazen, and bold. He's trying to do the spectrum of, types of trashy women.
Yeah.
That's a chart topping move. That's a good move.
It's what they do with fucking horoscopes. You're like, just say these things and everyone will be like, that's me.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like every single fucking woman that I know, like if you read those lines, they're like, oh my God, he's talking directly to me. If you leave a couple of them out, maybe they're like, I don't know. But if you say it in that order, they're like, yes, this is me. I'm super sweet and awesome, but also I will kick your dick and fish with a dip in.
Put that on a
show.
Mm-hmm.
Which ones are from Chickamauga?
So I don't know how it breaks down, but whoever the ones are from Lafayette, which is the town over.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
All from right there.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, now, granted, like that maybe there's past members. Like I don't know if they're all exactly still in the band, but yeah, like they all started here, like doing like little.
Are they like legends in Chickamauga to this day? Like, do they hit really hard? Do people like really give it? No, see, I would kind of expect that they would be.
Danny Shirley, who's their lead singer, who was the one there, mellowed it up, super hits. And my bug man's still best buddies with him. Like they still, tour and stuff. Like, yeah, dude, yes, people around here fuck with them. You know what I mean? But it's not like they don't play like the fair here all the time, if that's what you mean. But their piano player, keyboard player, he, as often happens to hitters in the country game, he turned to God.
Mm-hmm.
He turned to God, and I remember
after he got all his hits in.
After he got all his hits in, it was like, oh my God, I ran out of money. I think I need to be religious. I don't find that to be a coincidence. Yeah.
I'm fat, bald, miserable, and nobody wants to fuck me anymore.
Boy, that's 100%. You just described him to a T. And I remember one time I'd seen him come into the church from time to time. I didn't know who he was, and then finally somebody was like, that's fucking Chris McDaniel from Confederate Railroad. I was like, oh, word? And then it like sank in. I was like, oh, but don't hit. Like, I don't want him to be here. I'm only here because my mama makes me come here because I'm 16. I don't want him to be. This don't hit. And so one day they were going to have him go. He was going to sing. And I was like, okay, I mean, I would like to. I mean, for the record, I like gospel music. I love gospel music. I want to hear this guy get damn, CMT award, some bitch. He gets up there, y'all. And what he does is he's taken Trashy Women and he has changed the lyrics.
No.
Yeah. Can anybody want to wager a guess as to what it was that he did? It's pretty simple.
Jesus side?
Yeah.
I like my women a little on the Christian side.
I was going to say Christian side was my
and he did it.
That's a goddamn travesty, is what that is.
And I ain't gonna lie to you.
There would have been a riot. Yeah, that is not okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Nobody screamed and hollered at him, but you could kind of tell that there was
even in church, people were like, "This ain't right.
This ain't it." Like there was, I think all the people who were like, they'd never actually fucked with the OG song, but anybody in there who like that song hit for them, this was a goddamn abomination, and I was fucking furious, man. Like I probably walked out.
I'm mad right now. Did he say, speaking of walking out, I'm walking out. I love y'all. Y'all keep going.
Love you too.
Trey got too mad.
Yeah.
Corey, did he still say the "I want women just as tacky as me"?
Oh no, that's still a lot of those lyrics still absolutely fit for the Christian woman. I don't remember anything other than "I like my women just still on the Jesus side." I just remember being real mad, and then he goes up and he gives his fucking testimony, and we've all talked about this before, but he's giving his testimony, but dude, like he's just talking about like how many hits they had, how much fucking coke they did, and how great of a time that they had, all the hoes he banged, and I'm sitting there getting the complete opposite of the intended effect out of it.
Hell yeah, rock and roll.
I'm just like, you're goddamn right, son. That sounds awesome. And then basically like he's telling me, he's like, then the money dried up. Of course, when the money dries up, the drugs dry up. When the drugs dry up, the women dry up. And I don't think he meant it that the way that it sounds, but like that is true. And so. And then he's talking about coming to the Lord, and I'm just like, I don't like this. This don't hit for me. But he basically was up there just bragging about how much he used to hit, and now he's with Jesus.
Stopped. So I had to go with God. The implication there is, but guys, I mean, if it hadn't run out,
right, I'd still be.
It was a better life than hanging out with you dumb motherfuckers at 10 a.m. on a Sunday.
And it's funny because, like, granted, I probably was in the 1% of people at that church who had done a lot of cocaine at that time and had hung out with hoes and had promiscuous sex and lived that lifestyle. So to some people, they genuinely do hear that, and all their experience with that lifestyle is like going to Judgment House and seeing it depicted as like, this is what a teenager does, and then they have a wreck and they go to hell. But I was just hearing all that, and I was just like, whoo, boy, like I can't. Well, I'm gonna have to pick up a guitar.
That makes sense what you're saying. Like for a lot of people,
that is terrifying.
They know where he's going with the story.
Of course, you wouldn't be there if it kept hitting.
And so it sounds horrific to them because they don't hit. Tushar, thoughts?
I mean, I don't know what to. If you updating this song with a Christian update is just disgusting. It's just fundamentally disgusting, and I've never really heard this song before. So
just write a new one.
Just write a new one.
He didn't write this one though.
No, of course, that's true. That's very true.
I did.
Which honestly, now that I know this wasn't even their song, this makes it even more egregious to me.
Yeah, right.
He did this to a Jerry Jeff tune. Get the fuck out of here.
Was there a Bollywood version of that? Well, first of all, does the Hindu religion have any like I hate that word, flagellation?
What does that
mean? Is there like where you just have to stand in front of everybody and like basically confess to your sins and talk about how you used to, do all this horrible stuff and now you're right?
Yeah.
But like, is there any like,
I don't think there's anything like that, but I'm also not like a connoisseur of all Bollywood songs. I did want to bring up something. I wish Trey was on because I wanted to bring it up earlier, but there's something about the video that was really funny to me where the opening was, if y'all watch the video, a Mexican cold open.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot all about
that. Everybody got booed.
And I fucking... they got booed, which was hilarious just off the bat because I'm looking like there was casting involved and they had to make decisions. And I wish it would have been like, a couple of white people doing like a Chinese thing of like, because it's railroads and that's who built the railroads.
Oh my God.
That would have been great.
Now my video
or something else.
My video was super grainy. Was it Mexicans or was it white people pretending to be Mexicans?
It was white people with sombreros.
That's why it hit for Tushar so much.
It was so funny.
If it had been Mexicans, it wouldn't have been racist.
That's why he noticed. Tushar was really like, all right, let's watch this fucking video these guys sent me. Oh my God, they're in brown face.
Yeah. Yeah.
He calls his secretary, cancel all my meetings. We've got a hot one here.
Oh my God.
I love that so much. Because that was a firm decision they made.
Do the little Chinese soundtrack thing again.
Tushar loves.
Like, boo! Fucking boo!
You're Asian. You can do it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Tushar, you love white people doing bad racism so much. Like, obviously, you don't love racism.
No,
but you love
the
white
absurdity.
people doing bad racism so much. Nothing makes you happier.
It was so funny, man. Whenever that was shot out, because I literally been thinking about these are decisions whoever directed this made, and that's had nothing to do with the song. This was like a prelude to the song, meaning it wasn't like built in. So
it was a little sketch.
Like, it's a little sketch that they did, and it was blatantly racist, and it was just.
And for no reason, it seems like I don't understand. Like in fact, like until you brought it up, I had forgotten about it because it doesn't like serve any other. Dude, all it is somebody there was drunk and they're like, "Y'all still got them sombreros from Cinco de Mayo?"
Yeah, well, they were sitting there like, "This is a talent show scene. How do we set up that's a talent show?" And somebody was like, "Just have the guy say up next on our talent show." And somebody else was like, nah. It's better. It's cinematic if we're in the moment. Let's arrive in the middle of a scene. Who's the act before them? And then like fucking Dale was like, I got a Mexican outfit.
Yeah. And everybody, they were just like, look, it's got to be racist. People come to expect a lot from us. Like, we're going to have the flags there. Railroad. So it's got to be like a different type of racism so that we can subvert expectations.
That's my artistry here. It's like, listen, we got to be racist. Well, hell, we done got the stars and bars. No, God damn it, Terry. You're out of your fucking element here, all right? I'm talking about cinematic racism, man. Set the fuck down.
Damn. You gotta keep innovating or you're going to get you'll run out of shit, man.
Otherwise, we're just like them.
Yeah, if you don't grow, you shrink.
The other thing about the song itself is that Trashy Women, they still kept it white. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't say I like whatever, and then they inserted a black girl or a Mexican girl or whatever. It was still like she looks like Dolly Parton still.
Right.
And maybe that's just a reflection of the time. When did this song come out?
93.
Okay.
Well, it came out in 92. It was released in 93. It's definitely a reflection of who their fan base is, too. Right. But it's a fan base they cultivated by hanging the stars and bars. So I'm not giving them anything by saying that.
And that's true. I don't know if it's because of this song, but like it's interesting, man. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to hearing the word trash following the word white. Like for real, but like sincerely, when I think of trash, obviously, let's not discriminate here. Every type of race, religion, sex, anyone can be trashy. There's trashy ass Mexicans, there's trashy black people, everyone can be trashy. It does not discriminate. However,
there's some trashy gender non-binary folks out there.
For sure.
We have hung out with them and done drugs.
For sure. The Jewish people I don't find to have as much trash.
There's some trash, but
I'm sure there is, but
there's
like
some trash in New York.
My point is like when I hear the word trashy, I automatically think of a white person, and I think in this one specific area that's actually okay. You know what I mean? Like it's fine that we're not fucking parading black people, Mexicans going, look at this trash. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was a smart move on their part.
Black trash, brown trash, yellow trash.
We like them all.
It's like a Dr. Seuss trash book. The other thing I really liked about the video is that they had a really large lady at one point.
Yeah, of course. Fat trash.
And yeah, it was great because it's like you're not just saying I like hot, trashy women.
No.
You're like, I just like trashy women.
Yeah.
And that's more of a mindset than a like.
It's really a lifestyle.
Dude, there've been women that were like actually kind of ugly that I was attracted to just because of how trashy they were.
And that's why he's a humanitarian, ladies and gentlemen. Give this man an award.
Thank you.
There's a Reddit. Was it sub? Is that what
subreddit?
It's called?
Yeah.
There's a subreddit called Flub Trash, and it's just porn or porn adjacent things but with trashy people involved.
Oh, flood trash?
It's a FLUB if you're listening at home.
Flub. I mean, I'm subscribing right now.
Oh no, I've lost connection. Can you guys still hear me? I've lost connection to my camera, it says, for some reason.
Flub. Yeah, there it is. Flub trash.
Yeah, you're off camera, but we can hear you.
Oh, dude, immediate hits on this one.
There we go. Let me
the first fucking post on there is this girl. Hey, if even 4 guys upvote my 20-year-old ass, I'll celebrate and fuck myself.
Well, that's just point. That's somebody trying to pimp. That's someone trying to pimp their OnlyFans. Do you know her?
No. But look, second one, a woman pulling her titties out on a lawnmower. I said it.
I said it. I guess we'll have to edit that out, Drew. Put that on YouTube. All right, you guys, any last thoughts? My video is shot, and we're done anyway.
I guess my last thoughts are Jerry Jeff Walker died last year.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And the guy who wrote it died this year. Chris Wall.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Damn. Wrong kid died.
Yeah.
Wrong kid died, God damn it.
But was it a trashy death? That's the real thing.
No, it was COVID.
Yeah, and Chris Wall was cancer, and he was in a hospice.
Cancer can be kind of trashy if it was lung cancer.
COVID can be super trashy if you got it in Florida.
Yeah, right. If you
a woman on that lawnmower.
Yeah, if it's your fault that you got it, that's super trashy.
All right.
All right.
We good? Last thoughts?
Last thoughts is I can't believe that. I think I'm gonna research. I'm gonna do my research on B-sides, but in my opinion, there's no way this isn't top 10 of all time B-side for a record.
Yeah, I'm with you. Even though I'm not with you guys because my camera stopped working for no reason.
Well, that's okay.
I'm with you. Tushar, parting words, buddy.
I do love these things because I do get to understand white trash a little bit more.
Yeah. This has been a little microcosm into a very niche part of an already kind of niche culture.
Right.
As far as that goes, has this been the best song, or is it Bubba Shot the Jukebox? Because that one you was really having a time wrapping your head around.
I love that one. That was the first one.
Yeah, first episode.
That first episode was a good one. This one was great. This one felt a little bit like as you said, this is not a storytelling, but it slipped in there. The story slipped in there, and how he wrapped it up and kind of pointed at himself that it's like he likes trashy women, but he's also a trashy man.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And here's this prom story. All right.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.